we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start, but I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 10 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's
blitz coming, and down he goes. Ryan Shazier. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure it out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, Do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On second down, Mayfield again, eluding the pressure right. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to go back to Beckham there, and now it's second down.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
This will be caught inside the 10. 23 yards the pickup there. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them...
And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
The reception good for 7. It's third down. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. On second down, Samuels. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the gun on third down, Fields. And he finds McDonald.
On third down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the first down. But in this case, he turned into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Now the ball comes loose. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get out. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Now Ryan Suckup will come on and try the field goal. This one from 35 yards away.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Browns 7, Steelers nothing.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation.
Ryan Suckup on for the field goal. A 35-yard attempt.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey.
This is caught inside the 15. And now they are knocking on the door inside Pittsburgh's 10. A big play that time for Cleveland. 62 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns add on to their lead. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive, remember we talked with the offensive line, and one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game.
That's the score, Browns 14.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go!
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On first down, Fields. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had to quote it back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Ryan Suckup on for the point after. He's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts a defense.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
Different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Back to it after the pick 6. Mayfield forced out to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They go play action here on first down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Alert! 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 Five!
On 2nd and 2. Mayfield. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive. Just past the 30-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. There he goes left side. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Fumbles, that's how you get in the coach's doghouse. The first one lost and it hurt. This time you lose it and it's taken in for a score. It really hurt.
And about that doghouse, it won't exactly be comfortable, and it definitely won't be air-conditioned.
Milk bones?
None.
A try here for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They'll start the drive with Samuels. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. Fields.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball. Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something. And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else. See if he has that confidence. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there. Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Okay, Brandon, make sure you avoid the crazies out there and welcome in everybody to this Halloween edition of our EA Sports Halftime Report. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, and it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. From there, we head to the Big Easy to check on the Saints at home in the Superdome, and they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Alvin Kamara, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital, see what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And that game all even as they host the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. In the game you're watching has been Baker Mayfield with a strong first half. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns and he has run for another. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A first update now from Cincinnati, and the Bengals out to the early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Off the play fake. Fields. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Myles Garrett in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, Fields. And McDonald here over the middle. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why?
He's got it! Hit the 15! And all the way in! Touchdown, Cleveland! Odell Beckham, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
No problem there on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the...
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Sione Takitaki. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
On second down, Samuels, and he'll be taken down at the 18. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
So a change of possession here on the punt. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Flushed out right. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
That goes for a gain of 31. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Hey, wahoo!
Play action now. Here's Mayfield out to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Watch the slip, watch the slip.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Flush to his right. And that It's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Browns add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Point after try forthcoming. And they open the lead up now to 25 points.
Makes the score Browns 42.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
From all the way. Up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Back to throw. Fields toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon.
Off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Looking to throw. Fields. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Chad Thomas bringing the power on the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On 4th down, Fields. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll toss it to Hunt. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Hey, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns continue to roll.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? No, I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Point after, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Second and 6. He rifles one that's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Now for the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? Yeah. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. Third down here. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. Then it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Justin Lane there defensively that time to knock it free.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
On third down, Mayfield steps away to his left. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Let's go. Let's go.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And shutting him off, now open field. 30, the 20, 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on, like, the fifth tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
The extra point up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. And that'll set them back 5. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Oh, here we go.
Operating from the gun, Fields. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have that feeling that has to be the best. You just go out and complete control of this game here for hopefully one final possession.
And it's a culmination of preparation that began with something along the lines from the head coach of, we're going to win this weekend, and here's how we're going to get it done. And covered all the details that went into it. They practiced them. They went over them. They tweaked the game plan as the week went on. And to find it all coming together and see it finish this way,
makes them happy.
Oh, that's satisfying for them.
Yeah, they were very, very good. Now the last stages of this one. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And the Steelers set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it's a second down. 2nd and 2, facing a 2nd and 2. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Back to throw. Fields. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and I think the Browns got it. They did.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. To throw, Mayfield looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Go! Here we go. Mike's 50. It's just me and you.
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. His throw caught at about the 5. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Mayfield on play action. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Rashard Higgins was the one he was looking for, but it'll be 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield is Hunt.
Mike 55. Hey, Mike 7. Mike 55. Mike 55. Hey, eat. Real. Hey, let's get in that hole.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to, because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Let's go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cleveland, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.